Hello and welcome to Creatives Like Us. I am your host, graphic designer Angela Lyons, and this podcast is dedicated to open up the conversation and amplifying the voices of Black and brown creatives in business. I invite guests on to share their experiences and stories, and in between I have solo episodes where I share my insights. Creatives Like Us is here to empower and uplift the next generation of diverse talent, whether you're a student, graduate, or exploring your career path. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to Creatives Like Us. I'm Angela Lyons, founder of Lyons Creatives and your host for this show. And if this is your first time here, I'm so glad you found us. If you've been here from the beginning, welcome back. You are here and you keep showing up. That means everything. So let me tell you a little bit about this show and why I started it. Creatives Like Us is the podcast that puts a spotlight on talented, brilliant creatives from underrepresented communities. Every episode, I sit down with designers, illustrators, photographers, writers, or makers who are doing incredible work and building their careers entirely on their own terms. And I started this podcast because I kept looking around the industry and not always seeing myself reflected in it. And that is especially true when I go to conferences and events. So get those people on your events, people. Not in the big campaigns, not on the panels, and sometimes not in magazines. And I know there's talent there. We've seen it. I've seen it. And it's always been there. It's just not been celebrated or amplified in the way it deserves. So I thought, why not create the space myself? Because being a creative doesn't always look like a traditional 9 to 5. It doesn't always mean sitting behind a desk waiting for someone to come to get you or get up and go. Sometimes it means backing yourself, starting something from scratch and figuring out as you go along. It means building something that didn't exist before. And now you've decided it should. And there's a lot of power in that, even when it's scary and it's hard. And sometimes it costs money. I mean, that's what the show's about too. And sometimes we have to back our stuff and we have to put the effort in. And yes, that also means sometimes financing it. So in the podcast, we talk about the real stuff and we talk to real people. We talk about why they started it. I suppose a little bit of the hustle, the lessons you had to learn, the hard way, the good way, and the ones that you're still figuring out. And we share those stories with my guests. And sometimes I will share them too. We don't always gloss over the difficult parts because I think that's exactly what our community needs to hear. And obviously they might have gone through it themselves. So just to let them know you're not alone. I've had some incredible conversations in season 1 and 2. And every time people have come off the call and said, I'm so glad you're doing this. So season 3 is here and I've got some great guests again and I'll do some solo episodes in between. And I can't wait for you to find out who I've got on. So let me give you a taste of who's joining us this season. I've got an illustrator whose work centres around Black representation in a powerful way that she lets the art speak for herself, literally. She doesn't share her face publicly. And so she lets her work and illustration speak for themselves. And I absolutely love that. A lot of people do. She's got, a gazillion followers out there. It's such a statement of letting your work lead. I've got a young entrepreneur who built his business and a thriving business at that. At the same time, he's building this business. He's also generously sharing what he's learned within his community or within the community. And he's proof that success doesn't have to come from something you keep to yourself. And it's so inspiring to see a young person operating like that with such generosity. It's a joy. Really is. I've got another illustrator who's made it his mission to spread joy and positivity through his work, especially now in a world that can feel pretty heavy at times. There's something really beautiful about something and someone who just wants to make people happy through what they create. And got to love that really, haven't we? I've got guests who are strategic, sharp, and doing their business in the most creative ways because marketing yourself, pricing your work, building something sustainable, those are all really creative tools too in our business, and we need to talk about them more. So I can't wait for them to come. And everyone that's come has got different backgrounds, different disciplines, different journeys, as we know. And I'm really excited for you to listen to those. So stick with us. And another thing that I just want to end on, or just want to go over again, and I know I've mentioned it before in a few episodes, but if you ever feel like you don't quite see yourself reflecting this industry, this is the show for you. And if you're already here doing your work and building your thing and backing yourself, I hope this gives you a little bit more of a boost, a little bit more fire to keep going. And if you wanted to start that thing, just start it. Creatives Like Us has its own Instagram page, so you can follow us on Creatives Like Us. That's all one word. So it's at Creatives Like Us on Instagram. And if you want to connect with me directly, where I share the podcast when it's going out, or if you've already got this subscribed in your feed, that's great. You can connect with me at Ange Lyons, so it's at, and then ANGE_Lyons, LYONS. I'd love to see you over there. All right, so let's go. Let's get started with season 3 and keep being creatives like us. See you soon. Bye. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Glad you were here. If you like the episode, please do rate it or leave a message in the comments if you're listening on Spotify. Thanks so much for being here again. You know I appreciate it. Bye.